the end of Luke chapter 18, Jesus is coming through Jericho. There's a huge crowd around him, and this guy on the side, he's a beggar and he's blind. He says, "What's going on? What's the crowd all about?" And the guys around him say, "Well, this is Jesus of Nazareth's coming through." And he just begins to cry out. He must have heard about him because he begins to shout, "Son of David, have mercy on me." And everybody standing around is like, "Shh, be quiet, be quiet." They're trying to get the beggar to be quiet. He doesn't deserve Jesus' attention, is what they think. But he just shouts out all the louder, "Son of David, have mercy on me." And he's crying out to Jesus. Well, to everybody's surprise, Jesus says, "Hey, bring him here to me." And so they go and they get the blind man and they bring him over to Jesus. And Jesus says, "What do you want me to do for you?" That's a pretty significant question. And the blind man says, "Well, I want to recover my sight. I want to be able to see." And so Jesus just says, "Hey, your sight is restored. Your faith has made you well." And it's a pretty remarkable story, but at the end of that, everybody around begins to glorify God. They're giving praise to God, and the blind man worships God and follows Jesus. So a couple of things just want to mention. Two things that the blind man says. He says, "Son of David." That is a term about Jesus that means that he is going to be the king. He is the king of David's line. That means he's the Messiah. He's the one they've been waiting for. The blind man, he may not could see, but he could see that. He knew that much about Jesus, that he's the king they've all been waiting for. And then the second thing about what he said is, "Son of David, have mercy on me," which means he not only knew who Jesus was, but he knew who he was. He knew that he needed mercy, that he was a sinner, that he needed mercy from this God. Well, that's generally speaking. When Jesus brought him close, generally Jesus said, "I don't want you to just tell me that you need mercy. I want to know specifically, what can I do for you specifically?" And he said, I want to be able to see again. And I know you have the power to do that. Will you let me see again? And Jesus says, "Yeah, I will. Your faith has made you well." So a couple of things. Do you know who Jesus is? Do you know who you are? And if Jesus were right in front of you and he said, "What do you want me to do for you?" what would you say?